Hello and welcome. My name is Ajaxpost and we're here with the first look at a brand new game. This one is called WizardCraft Colonies. It's from the same developer who produced a game about 3 years or so ago called WizardCraft, which was kind of a 2D RPG kind of game. I've never played it. I've only just sort of come across it on Steam in sort of looking into the background of this game. This is very early release, and in fact this very build was published just half an hour before I started recording this episode. So I had to quickly stop and start the game again to get all these latest bug fixes and so on into it. It was released to early access at the beginning of September 2019, following an alpha release back in July-ish, sometime in the summer, and obviously some development time before that. So this is very early in the game development. So what is it? It's basically a base builder kind of game in the wizarding kind of realm. So it employs magic and spells and all sorts of wizardy kind of gubbins in a 2D sort of base building kind of environment. I haven't played a base builder for quite some time. Most of them were kind of real-time games, and I'm not great at those because I like, as you've watched my channel, I like to stop and think and sort of plan what I'm doing, and a lot of the base building games don't give you a lot of scope for that. You've got to be really organised really quickly and deal with the situations as they arrive in fast order. So what have we got in this game? So it's very early access, so it looks a bit sort of simple at the moment, but that may or may not evolve. But this is just the front screen, the menu. We're not too concerned what that looks like as long as you can use it, basically. So let's have a quick look at some of the options we've got available to us. We have music and sound effects, which is all kind of cute, kind of nice, kind of fits in with the look and feel of the game. I don't have an issue with that at all. I'm quite happy with that. As you know, I actually quite like having music in a game, and I tend to leave it on. So you'll hear that plinking away. Is quite soft and kind of gentle. I don't know if it evolves into dramatic music when fights take place. I don't know. We may or may not see that. Time will tell. The controls. Now, this is where I start having trouble with the game, I'm afraid. It is essentially keyboard controlled, and I am rubbish at keyboard control. I'm very much a mouse player. So if the game requires a lot of keyboard management, keyboard activity to manage what's going on, then I tend to be a bit rubbish at it, to put it politely. So basically it's a WAS, that should say D. I faffed around with that earlier, that should be D. So it's the basic WASD movement around, all the arrow keys and stuff can work like that, as we'll see. Gameplay. Darkness at night time. I don't like it getting. 6 is kind of. I've got it down dark. We'll leave it at. Actually, we'll put it down to 3, a mid-range. So how dark it gets at night time. I've not had an issue yet because I've not engaged in any battles. So I'm not sure how important the amount of darkness actually is. Tips on. I like tips. Names on. That's quite a nice little feature. The social text box, we'll see that happening. Enemy levels, no idea what that means. Pause on damage. Yeah, probably good thing to do. And screen resolution, you've got a whole variety to choose from. I'm playing at my standard monitor resolution of 1920 by 1080, and of course full screen, because that's how I like to play my games. One thing I should say here before we get into the game itself, I probably should have said this earlier to be honest, is I was offered a free key to the game to sort of have a look at it, produce some content on it and give you an idea of what I think of it and see if I can help promote the development of the game. And I'm more than happy to do that with these sort of smaller indie games. Happy to support independent developers. So that won't affect my view of the game, that I got it for free. Yeah, we will see how that turns out. So anyway, on with it. Let's start a new game. Now, you can play in a variety of... you have a big map here, and you can select which region and which biome you want to work in. So if I go... you've got grasslands, desert, swamp, volcano, or volcanic environments. and these will affect obviously the resources that are available to you. Let's go for grassland. I'm assuming that should be simpler. Now the region here and the level, not entirely sure what that means. I suspect it has an impact on the difficulty level. So yeah, 90. I'm not going to do that. that sounds terribly difficult, and I don't like difficult. So we'll start here, nice and easy. What shall I call this? We can change the name of our map. We'll call it Ajaxland, shall we, for want of a better and more imaginative name. We've got seeds, hill and lakesides again, so you can obviously adjust the look and feel of your map. Again, I've not played with those, so I can't offer any advice on that. It's a base building game, as I said, and you start off with a population of 8 people, level 4. So that probably, yeah, does that impact on this level you've got here? It might do. That's good. I'm just wondering. That's good thinking. You got all sorts of information on your villagers, their skills, their age. Oh, you're quite an old person, Toby. 76. We should have at least 1 or 2 children in here. Oh, we don't. Oh, that's interesting. I'm sure on my first run through of the game, first attempt at looking at the game, I did get a child in here. But we obviously have some old people in here, more senior citizens, obviously less capable of fighting. So let's begin. It takes a little while to load the map up, to populate it. Reticulating splines, or whatever the appropriate phrase is for map drawing. And here we are, it's creating map full of resources, different land types. And I've got a little flag. Where do I want to pin my base? Can't view the whole map in one. There's no mini map either to see where we're going. Now you do have edge scrolling, but you can't move around using the I'm used to using the mouse, the scroll wheel or left or right buttons to control movement around the map. You can't do that. As I said, you've got I would say you've got the WASD keys, but then oh, that's for moving people around, isn't it? Oh, if I'd read the instructions, that might be more useful. And there's all sorts of good resources around here, but there's also likely to be unpleasant characters which might come and do damage to you, your villagers, or your colony. I don't know what they are, so we'll ignore them. This looks like quite a rich spot. There's some water over there, trees. Yeah, let's set up here. Okay, so let's start this off. We've got our base pre-built. What is that creaking noise? It wasn't me, honest. If I hover, oh, that's they're not creatures. That's a stone vein. So that's spawned stone. That's good. Okay, so our basic base is provided to us. 3 beds for our 8 people. Not a great many. A little plot of farmland, a well for water, and some storage space. And a small supply of weapons. Because some of these people can become weaponized. So if we take... that's an Irish name, which I believe is pronounced Eoghan or Owen. If you are familiar with Irish names, please do let me know how to pronounce that correctly. This looks slightly different. I don't remember seeing all these options here when I first came into the game on the earlier build. So here's our status for our chappie Owen. I'm going to call him Owen for want of... Actually, I can change his name. So options, I could change his name there, but I'm not going to. We'll leave him as Owen. If I can't pronounce it, that's my problem, not his. Okay, stamina, hydration, how warm they are, info. He hasn't eaten anything yet. 100% immunity, swordsmanship. That's a skill. So he can become a knight or an archer. A knight level 5, I think that suggests he's quite efficient at night at fighting. So we've got different types of swords available to us here. And the effect here, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. That looks like flamethrowers, so maybe it's a sort of flaming sword. So as you slice them through someone, they burst into flame. Or maybe the sword itself emits flame. I've no idea. So if we equip Eoghan with that, there he goes. Now, the thing about the map, let's get the people moving, shall we? Another slight issue I've got here is there's no obvious keyboard. Actually, if I check that again, options, controls. No, there's no. Right is F. That is D. There. Hopefully that's taken that. Yeah, there's no option here for changing the speed apart from P for pause. It does say pause. That's not very helpful. That's the wrong sort of pause. That's pause there. Now what I would like them to do first off here is actually build more bed space. I think we need more space for them to relax, to rest after a long day's work. So we've got different floor tiles here. Wood requires wood. Everything requires wood. Now, what wood do we have? I don't think we've got any wood at all, according to this. We've got some water buckets. I think that's water. And these brown piles of stuff. Oh, I'm in pause mode, so it's not going to tell me anything, is it? That's bucket. What is that? What is that stuff? Is that? It is water. That's bread. That's fine. So I need them to collect more wood, and that is simply a matter of left clicking and dragging over that area. So go collect resources from there, and also there. That's the stone. As I said, I need to build more sleeping space here. This edge scrolling, I like edge scrolling, but it's a bit fast. Let's do it like that. That should be sufficient, I think. So, as you can see, the builders, the villagers themselves, are managing their lives quite nicely, and that's controlled by, move my mouse very slowly, by the AI manager here, which actually allows you to exercise quite a good degree of control over the operation of the villagers' automated activities. So when they go to feed, when they're 30% hungry, or drink if they're 30% hydrated or less, sleep at certain levels, that sort of thing. And also in terms of how they fight and things like that, automatically using magic turrets. Turret. Should I be turret? I'm not sure. Is turret? I'm not sure turret is a word. We're not going to hunt wild animals because wild animals might be dangerous. And I'm scared of wild animals that are dangerous. The inventory. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. This is telling me, I think, what each type of character automatically carries. I think. So if we go to this empty space here, then they could carry... What's that? That is a health potion. That's good. Health regen potion? No. Ice cure, poison. Oh, right. These are the turrets. It's a word I'm not familiar with. But peasants shouldn't normally worry about carrying those things. Knights, we have one at the moment, which was Owen. And he's carrying health potions. What's that one? A teleport potion. Interesting. That's a bomb, presumably. I think that's a boomerang. Yep, that's good, I suppose. So yeah, you can define here what each sort of character carries. You can also define what jobs people do. Toby isn't doing training, presumably here. So animal care, baby care, we don't have any babies, we don't have any animals either at the moment. Now Owen, he's got to be mostly looking after our village, our colony. Oh, I can't. Oh, okay. Now, why can't I? Right. Yeah, some odd clicky thing going on here where clicking it the second time or a third time, you can't do that. Nope, there's obviously a little glitch in the interface. So you can control here what jobs people do. So if you want to sort of arrange people into certain activities, then you can do that. Gives you slightly more control over who's doing what. Obviously, you don't want your fighting force to spend time cleaning the storehouse. Schedule. So what do they do at which times of the day? So anything, work, free time or sleep. So we'll have Owen sleep, for example, there. You could do anything there. Free time. You can't see much about who these people are. You don't have access to their characteristics. Who's Toby? Toby is our old man. So if we went to the AI control and Toby, yeah, you should sleep at night. So we'll send you to sleep. Make sure you're asleep in that period. That's good, I think. Okay, so we're getting. Let's build some extra farmland as well. Farmland. There we go. Because we're going to need that. Okay, get that building. Run at normal speed. Get that done. Are you waiting for wood, are you? Is that what's going on? What I want to do here, actually, so I pause that for a second. That is bread. We don't want that just sat around on the floor there. So can we put it in some storage? So we've got the stockpiles here. So we can build more storage. Actually, we could build... And we've got our weapons lying around here. Let's see if we can organise those more effectively in a more organised way. Let's organise things in an organised way. Let's do that, shall we? What am I looking for? Weapons. Stockpile water. No, we're not going to do... magic, construction, weapons. That's that. Okay. We'll build that there. And I think the team should then move the weapons into those spaces there. And I'm not quite sure what the difference is between the stockpiles here and the barrels. Now there is for the game quite a lot of help. And it comes up here, and a lot of it's nice that it actually gives you this video presentation of what's going on. Actually, well, that is a video presentation. Yep. So you can see what they do. So. Food, where's there a storage? Transports, research, food. They will need ample food. Can be produced either by growing crops, fruit trees, bushes, by cooking food at stove or cooker. Different types of food will fill a villager's hunger more than others. Yep, food will become rotten over time, so to extend the life it can be stored in either a refrigerator or barrel. When it becomes rotten, it can either be sold at a cost, or turned into manure at compost bin. In addition to increasing your village's hunger, cooked food. In addition to increasing your village's hunger, cooked food will also increase their happiness. I imagine cooked food will reduce villagers' hunger. I think. Be sure to provide your villagers with a variety of food, as this will give your villagers a health bonus. Okay, so barrels I think are a good thing. So we want some food barrels, which are the green ones there. So let's store... I don't know how many of these we're going to need. We could also do with some water barrels as well, I think. We'll take a couple of those. You see, yep, they're moving the weapons here into the storage area. That's good. And our farmland gas vent. An unlimited supply of gas. Ooh, can we store gas? Weapons, magic. I don't know. Well, there's a fridge. That costs 2,000. Okay, money in this game. We are taxing our villagers on a daily basis, and we're charging them 3,580 units of something every day. And at the moment, I've actually got quite a bit of money in my pocket, so I can afford to spend it on things like more beds. What bed there's? That's 6 beds. That's good. I think. Now, hopefully, they don't all get tired at the same time and want to go to bed at the same time. Okay, right, so they're doing that. We're getting farmland here. That's corn. We could do it putting some more crops in, I think. So, this scrolling is annoying me. Oh, there's my daily allowance. That's come in, so I'm even richer. We're currently in spring. Notice the weather effects. They're rather good, aren't they? So here, if we're looking at what food to plant, can I pause this and look at this? I can. I can, yeah. It's just the environment effects which are moving, not the people themselves. So yeah, in the food, the seeds here that we can plant, it tells us sort of how good they are at satisfying hunger. So raspberries, although they're lovely, only supply sort of 46% hunger satisfaction, as opposed to a melon or an artichoke, 56% for an artichoke, 67% for a melon. I think melons are a good idea then. So we'll plant some melons up there. And what other seeds do we want? A cherry tree, no. Autumn crop, we should prepare for autumn as well. Cabbages look quite good. Onions aren't as good. Pumpkins are really good, as are potatoes. Apple trees are quite good. Should we plant an apple tree as well? Plant an apple tree there. And let's look for one. Let's go back to seeds. So we're looking at an apple tree there. I like pumpkins. They were. Yeah, so I can only plant seeds on the ground which has already been prepared as farmland. So that's fine. Let's get the guys moving again. Okay, so what we're waiting for here is for something to happen in terms of finding things to fight or to beat. But I think for like most base building games, the first thing you're going to do is sort of build up your basic infrastructure. And part of that is fed through research. So if we look at our research, now the research here works in an interesting way. There is no sort of collect this material or resource to build research. You don't have scientists devoted to research, although you could actually do that in the AI. Actually, let's look at that in the AI. Free time. That could be. Yeah, let's give Toby here that free time. Now I'm doing that because the way the research works, should we go into help? And that'll tell you there as well, so you can read it to supplement whatever it is I'm saying. The way research works is that people will think about stuff as they go about their day and not doing anything. So while they're think about the world when they have no other jobs to do, and if you'll see the little people as they wander around, they'll have little light bulbs appearing in their thought bubbles above their heads, and when that light bulb appears, they're doing some thinking. And after a time, and that thinking all accumulates over time and earns you research points, which you can then spend to unlock certain technologies. So as it says there at the bottom, villagers will only produce research if they have nothing else to do. So if you want a villager to produce a lot of research, consider removing some of the other jobs in the AI manager. In other words, I think giving them free time. So take them out of things to do, which I think is what I was doing. But anyway, as you can see here, I've now got enough research, 203 points, so I can unlock 2 things. So what do we want to do here? Produces gas from manure. Now, I'm not quite sure what... I think gas is an energy source, which would be nice. Now, I believe... Well, compost, that was mentioned as manure and fertiliser for our farms. That's nice, but it might be nice to have an animal as well. We don't really want pets because we're still in the early stages of building a colony. Chickens look like a good idea, whereas cows... Actually, cows produce milk and can then be slaughtered for meat. Goat's milk, sheep... Yeah, you don't get wool from sheep, which is an interesting thing there. You either get some sort of food stuff, milk, eggs, or milk again, or just meat from the slaughtering of the animal. So let's research chickens. We've unlocked chickens, and we'll also unlock the grinding wheel, which should allow us to turn wheat into bread, which would be good. So we've now got 3 points, so we need to do a lot more thinking before we can get any more research unlocked. Can we buy chickens? We can. They're two. We can buy quite a few chickens. 1, 2, 3. Do you need a male chicken to fertilise them to produce baby chickens? Possibly. So we've got 1 rooster and 3 chickens. So see, our corn there is looking good. That's an all-season crop, which is nice. Melon plants, they're growing, as is pumpkins and our apple tree. I'd like to plant some wheat. There's wheat. And it's an all-season crop, so we'll keep that growing. So we can then put that through a grinding machine. That's in production. Our grinding wheel here. Where should we put that? We'll put that, over here, I think. And there's a cooker. There's a cooker. Yeah, you can have a gas cooker, which obviously requires gas, presumably from this sort of vent. So we'll put a cooker in there, a stove. Oh, look, we've filled up our weapon storage already. So can we actually... I notice there is storage. There is another way of... this scrolling is going to annoy me. Another way of storing weapons. So we could put swords in a weapons rack like that. Oh, there's someone doing some thinking. Isabel, hidden behind that tree, was doing some thinking. That's good. And we have some bows. Yeah, we'll put that in there. Not quite sure if that's a more efficient way of storing these things than the weapon storage pile here. And staff. Is there no way of... So, the arrows. Is there no way of storing them anywhere? I'll put a staff rack in just in case we get any staffs. No. Okay, that's fine. Right, so... Oh, we're under attack. Right, let's pause this for a second. Where are we from? What are we under attack? Ooh, what's that? That looks like something mean. So do we need someone else to become a warrior? So how old are you, Curtis? 51? Your husband. Oh, husbandry. Resistant to lightning. No. Iron tank, reduced damage. Husbandry, iron tank, fast learner. Actually, Toby, although Toby is old, takes 20% reduced damage. So, shall we equip... Yeah, let's equip... he's too old to fight. Oh, that's... Oh, maybe if he's sort of attacked by a wild beast or something. Maybe that's what that refers to. Right. You're an archer. You're a knight as well. Let's make you a knight. Oh, we've only got the one rare sword, so we'll equip you with the other sword. And who else have we got here? Do we need an archer? Yeah, we'll make you an archer level 3. So we'll equip you with... interesting. I'm not quite sure why there's a difference in damage here, so we'll equip you with that. Okay. So what's going on? Something's died. So, not quite sure what that was. I do wish the menus wouldn't disappear when you press pause. So, no. Something social. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about with the... What is going on here? Something's... What is attacking us? It looks like everyone's okay. I think we're safe. Obviously the blood spattering of the dead beasties. Did any of our people suffer any damage? Don't think they have. By look at that. It's too dark, it's too dark. No. No. I think they're okay. Yeah, the mood here is the mood here is obviously useful to know how they're feeling. That's going to be a happiness issue. Now this icon here, take control, is if you're in a battle situation, which we sort of were there, but I wasn't paying proper attention to it. You can actually direct them to where to go to fight. But you can't do that if they're just in normal peasant mode, as it were. So yeah, I'm not seeing any HP. Or was that hit points? Or was that health points? Something like that. Yeah. Not entirely sure. But we don't need you to be a fighter anymore. So we can drop the weapon. And... is that you're going to... Right, and Curtis, you can drop your weapon too. Yeah, and you've gone back to being peasants, and we'll just leave Owen as our wandering knight. That's good. And this is obviously the dark. I'm not quite sure why that black spot there has turned up. It's gone now. Good. Right, so where are we? Well, we've got magic. Don't know where this comes from. Now, things do seem to arrive in the game through these portals. Teleport stone. Peasants are located here. Resources dropped by enemies. I don't know where that's come from. Someone's hungry. No. Okay, well, I'm thinking. I'm still floundering in the game, to be honest. My issues are with the game at the moment is you don't have easy access to what you have. It's nice that in most of these sort of games you likely see a sort of control bar at the top which tells you what resources you have and how well you're doing, what you need to collect and so on. But that's not readily available here, which frustrates me somewhat. There's a lot of stone here, isn't it? We're collecting stone. Let's collect some more stone, shall we? Collect that and some more wood. That's what the team will get to, won't they? Yeah, and there. Good, they're going about that. It's amazing how many umbrellas we've got. Yeah, so what we'll do, we'll bring this to a halt for the moment. If you'd like to see more of WizardCraft Colonies, please do comment below, or drop me a message on Twitter or Instagram, the links to which are in the description below. But yeah, it's an interesting game. Now, I'm struggling with it because I don't really understand how it all works, and the controls are kind of hampering me to sort of get to grips with it. I'm not one for reading great reams of help text. Although all this is here, and you get a sort of clue here in the little video snippets, I'd like to... this may sound a bit sad. I like to have my hand held a little bit at the introduction of a game to sort of teach you the basic mechanics of how it works. And for me, that's the one key thing missing in the game here. Now, for those of you who are regular base builders and who are familiar with this whole kind of genre, then that may not be an issue. But for me, it's a little bit limiting because I really don't have much idea of what we're doing. But I'll keep at it for a little while and see if I can learn more about the game. And if I do, we'll come back and show you some more. But it's an interesting thing. It looks good. I do like the look of it. And yeah, we'll see where it goes from there. So thank you very much for joining me today. I don't know if this has been at all useful to you, but if it has, or if you've enjoyed my wandering around being a bit rubbish at it, do drop a like on the video, a little bit of a thumbs up. That'd be very much appreciated. And of course, if you've got any thoughts, ideas, if you'd like to see more of this game, drop a note into the comments box below. It'd be great to hear from you. And of course, if you've not already done so, please do subscribe to the channel, and that way you'll learn when I upload another one of these, if I do, or any of my other Let's Play series on the channel. But from me, Ajaxpost here, offering our first look at WizardCraft Colonies. Until the next time, bye bye for now.